Oh my god. Yo, look at it. Look at it. Summoning Jutsu. Earth style. Plant devastation. Let's go. Grab them legs. Give me them legs. Oh my god, I love it. Yo, by the way, my character looks identical to me. If you guys have never seen me, that's me. My character looks identical to me. Alright guys, let's go ahead and jump into this. I kept getting the same remarks over and over. Rio, don't buy this game, bro. That's stupid. Why would you get Greedfall when Monster Hunter just came out? Rio, why would you buy this game when Borderlands is right around the corner? Now, my thing is, I want to give this game a shot. Let's actually go into it because I'm actually a little bit surprised, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about Greedfall. So, as always, homies, we back with the foolishness. Now you guys know what I want. Lotion? Stop. I thought I lotioned. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. I want to give a little bit of respect right now, right? 28 to 40 people worked on this game, which to me is completely mind-blowing that 28 to 40 people brought this project to life. When there's so many other game companies that literally have hundreds and hundreds of people working on their game and cannot even get out projects, nothing close to this. This is a full RPG game released to the public with 28 to 40 people working on it. So major congrats right there, right? Now, this is one thing I definitely want to say about this game. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and just whatever we like about it, right? So my first impressions, what do I feel about this game? What would you guys feel? I see people talking to me and they're like, you know what, Rio, it looks ugly. I don't like the game. It looks weird. This. Do not let any of that perception blind you from what this game actually is. This is actually a freaking solid game, right? Now, I'm going to tell you the do's, the don'ts, the things I like. And the thing about this one is the number one focus on what I had on this game as soon as I turned it on while I'm in the city, it's going to be the camera. Ooh, the camera. The camera did not feel humbling. It did not feel very nice. Now, for 28 to 40 people working on this game, I'm going to give a little bit of curve of respect. I will definitely respect you. But one thing I will say is that in the year of 2019, camera problems are something that I do not expect ever in any video games anymore. Maybe back in 2009, 10 years ago, I would expect something like that, but the camera did feel a little bit weird. It's not enough to make you feel like you can't play the game. It's nothing like that, but you definitely feel it on combat, a little bit of hiss and fit, a little bit here and there. So I have to mess with the sensitivity a little bit just to play with it, just to see what I like and to what was bearing to me. And then after that, I was kind of understanding a little bit more. Now, you guys will compare this game to something like The Witcher or like kind of like a Dragon Age feel or something like a Mass Effect. It feels like a combination of those games, which those are great games. So with those being such great games as they are, did this actually deliver on something like that? And I will say that it found its great middle ground and it actually did a good job. Combat is a little bit different, especially for me when I had to get used to the pause menu, how you can tactically just pause and just freeze time to come up with different ideas with you and the team that you're actually working with to go through and try to outcome and just try to win the battle. I thought that was great. Enemies do have that sense of difficulty to where they're gonna clap them cheeks real quick, pause, they will body you, they will jump you, it will be a lot of people there and you will need to call your mom at the end of the day. Now, another thing that I thought was very enticing, very, very cool, very, very different, you know what I mean? And I thought the cool thing about it was how you go about getting side quests finished, how you go about getting things just completed in the game. There's multiple different ways. You can pick lock, sneak past people, you can avoid combat. It's multiple different ways to where it gives you the option to where you want to choose your outcome on how you want to do your approach. Now, when you go across with builds, your skill points, your attributes, it's beautifully done. It's a very huge scope on what you want to build into, right? You could be a tactician, you could be a warrior, or you can have magic. Now, you guys know me. I'm the magic guy. Shout out clone jutsu. I'm a ninja. Oh. Look, the cool thing is the magic. I think it looks beautiful. The graphics, the world, everything is great, right? So whenever you're going through and you're using your skill points, one thing I will say is that it has a respec thing right there already ready for you. So since you're using your abilities, these skill points, you're going through testing out abilities, you can respec. On top of respecting, what that actually gives you is the option. So it gives you those options where you can test out multiple different builds so you can see what it is that you like so you can get the right playstyle that fits you as a person, right? Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, this game is a lot and a lot and a lot of talking. It's so much dialogue, and I'm like, for 28 to 40 people working on this game, how did you fit in so much dialogue with the cutscenes? That's amazing, right? I freaking love that. Now, the cutscenes period is beautiful. Now, with this little realm that it took us back to the old days, and with the cosmetics and the armor and everything else, it looks beautiful. It looks good, right? Now, when you're using stealth in different ways, you can charm your way in, you can work on your dialogue, you got to build up on those skills to basically trick people into doing what you want them to do. Now, with certain reputations, different things that you're going to do with different outcomes on how you handle certain situations is going to make it to where, yo, me and you aren't cool anymore. I lose some reputations with you. But wait a minute, me and you are cool. So I built up some reputation with you. I think that stuff is just freaking amazing, right? So it's like I said, it's multiple different ways on how you can complete quests, right? Now, whenever you go into the combat, like I said, the combat feels a little bit basic, a little bit what you would think it's going to be. You can pause it, go with tactical approaches because it's going to be so many enemies on the screen at the time. Kind of feels like the Witcher gameplay on how you're going to be fighting, right? So you can go in. The enemies, like I said, they are tough. They will one-shot you. I've been one-shotted a couple times. And the thing with the combat, right? With it feeling so basic and you just go in, you're going to dodge, you're going to parry, you're going to go back in, drink your mana just so your magic can refill and go through. But it fits the game and it fits the world that you're in, so everything feels normal. When I first saw this game, I was getting Dragon's Dogma feel. I don't know if you guys remember that game, like I said. But since after playing it, I'm no longer getting Dragon's Dogma feel. I'm getting Mass Effect, I'm getting The Witcher, and I'm getting Dragon's Age. Those are what I'm feeling with the vibe from this game. So how did this game deliver on that? Especially with not feeling like it was reused, especially when you're doing the quest and the time that you're going to be putting into it. And also the people that's in your party. The people that's in your party, are you going to be like, when you're doing their side quests, are you going to feel like, oh man, this thing is kind of tedious, I don't want to do it? You know how some games can have you with those quests feeling tedious, and so you want to skip the side quests just to do the main quest. I can honestly tell you, the side quest didn't feel like that at all. It was rich, it was enriched, it was very well thought out. The dialogue was great on how you're going to go through, especially when you're talking to them. One thing that I did love, and I keep saying the dialogue, fams, one thing that I did love is how it was like a mini cutscene with most of the people that you're talking to. In most RPG games that you're going through, you go through and you talk to someone and the words just pop up there and you hear a voice. You literally see these mouth talking, you literally see their lips moving to where they're putting all of this work into it. And for 28 to 40 people doing all of that on every single conversation in the entire game, you sir, you people, you ma'am, you company, you freaking devs have earned a lot of respect from me with all of this work, all of the small details that you guys have put into it. Yes, you guys do have some reused animation on some of the characters. The lip sync is a little bit off. The camera I thought was bad until I had to get used to it, but the camera still isn't, it still isn't at its greatest, right? Even with these negatives and things that you have here, with everything else that's put into this game, the game shines on its own. It did a good job. It delivered in a good place to where it wants to be, especially with the Western like RPG feels with everything that's going through. This game did a really good job, right? These things and these negatives that I'm telling you, the point about it is that it's easy to ignore with everything else and how enriched the world is, right? Another thing that I want to talk about that was a problem was the fast travel. The fast travel did seem a little bit tedious. Sometimes you can feel lonely. I'm so lonely while you're running all the way through these worlds. And by the way, let me not say worlds. These are actually not a giant open world. It's just like a certain areas that you actually go through. And when you go through these certain areas, each area looks very graphically enhanced. Each area looks diverse to where it's different, to where it seems like you have not been there before. I walked up on a castle and I was like, God dang, is that Camelot? Is that where 7 deadly sins were fighting? Is that I'm crazy. So I did notice all of the work that they put into it. And when you go, I don't know if you guys have seen the show Vikings, but it kind of reminded me on Vikings on certain parts that I was running to, because it was so enriched and it was so great and it was so vivid on how I looked at these areas. And I was like, wow, this seems really cool. But walking around, the fast travel, some of that do feel tedious at times, to the point to where you're like, man, this is boring, this is whack. I want to travel, I want to do something, I want to get to from point A to point B a little bit quicker. Okay, so like I said, with that, the combat, the side quest, and everything else that you're going to put into it, the graphics, just the overall pacing of the game, I don't feel like the pacing is too entirely slow. The pacing seems fine. I'm putting a lot of time into it now, especially with the fighting. I had to get used to the fighting because I was getting clapped. Okay, homies. So what do I give this? I give this 8 slaps out of 10. Maybe like an 8.2. Maybe like an 8.2. Now, I will tell you this. I got to lean back in my chair and tell you guys this. You guys know me. Here's the thing. For all the people telling me not to get this game and do not buy this game, the reason why I put so much effort into getting this game and making sure that I supported this game is because when I see developers working as hard as they are with 28 to 40 people, spiders, I give nothing but respect. And I'm going to make sure that that respect that I give you doesn't take away from the faults that I do see in the game, but also highlight the great points and all the accomplishments that you guys did put in this game. And I thought that was actually pretty cool, right? So one thing that I will say, I felt as if this game did fall in a bad spot. I feel like a lot more people would give this game a shine if it didn't fall like in the spot that it did. Falling in between Monster Hunter and Borderlands, games that's gonna take up a lot of time. So those 3 games take up a lot of your time. So most people are gonna be choosing one or the other. Because I know people who's choosing between Monster Hunter and Borderlands, and they didn't even know that this game was coming out. Okay, so it puts you in a very tough spot, you know. Most people got to choose between games. So as a brand new RPG, it fits into that line very well. It's very great, especially, bro, when I seen the girl do the freaking wood style jutsu when she was, I said, oh my god, that's what I'm talking about. It was litty. I loved it. I'm having a lot of fun on it. I was streaming it earlier today. I'm gonna keep streaming it, see how far I get in it. But especially after playing something like Remnant, that was another great game that came out, which was $40. This one was $50. You got Borderlands coming out at $60. It's a lot of games. Oh, and Monster Hunter. No disrespect to the Monster Hunter fans. It's a lot of games that was just right behind each other. So I feel like this game might not get as much love because all of those games were just so like 2 to 3 weeks apart. 2 weeks, 2+ weeks apart. 3 weeks, you know, so it's a little bit crazy. I hope that you guys, if you have the extra earnings or if you have the time on your hands that you want to give this game a shot, I don't want to say to go out and buy it over every other game. I just want to tell you that I did not hate this game. I thought the game was decent. You know what I'm saying? I thought the game was pretty cool. I give it an 8.2 slaps out of 10. And I thought they did a great job. And I give major respects to 28 to 40 people working on this game. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. I've seen a lot of people that was just hating on it. The game looks old. It looked like it's from 2015. It would have been better if it was this. With the people working on it and the project that they actually released. Hello, Anthem. What? All right. So take care, guys. I love you. Have an amazing day. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And we're going to be back with the foolishness as always, man. Follow me over there on Twitch. I'm doing a Borderlands 3 giveaway. Comment section, guys. Follow me on Twitter. Comment section. I love you.
I see you again, Ciara. Thank you for soothing her anger. You must tend to the wounded now. And find my mother. Or her body if she is indeed dead.
Look at this massacre. How?
Find her banner. It bears the symbol of our clan.